Okay, I did say I don't want to talk about the Nets anymore. We just talked right now, but Steve Nash was fired. And Palma, I'm gonna ask you, out of all these games,
Hit me with it.
how many games do you think Steve Nash won? Uh, Out of 158 games, what do you think his record was as their head coach?
My best guess, I'd say he won maybe
161 games. Sorry, let me fact check myself.
that's how many games they played. He was a
161 games,
as a
including
coach,
playoffs. Yep, as a coach, just a
60
ballpark.
games.
60
60 games.
games. He was 94 and 67 as their head coach with all the stuff going on. James Harden trade. James Harden hurt. Kyrie out with COVID. This couple games in the season. Was Steve Nash the scapegoat in Brooklyn?
We still got Kyrie in our heads, man. That is a crazy topic, man. But as far as Nash, I think I'm on that boat where I think he was put into a tough situation. But
I agree.
it goes back to I think the summer league. I forget what player, or maybe you know the name of the player. He was playing in the summer league, and they asked him a question about Steve
Cam
Nash, and he
Thomas.
kind of
Cam
made
Thomas.
Cam Thomas, yeah. And I believe something's going on with Cam Thomas right now with his
Yeah,
Instagram,
he
to
yep.
free him.
Free
That's
Cam
another
Thomas. Yep.
subject. But he made an interesting either it was a comment or a look that he gave when they asked him about Steve Nash. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of indicated, that the team isn't. It was already they're already not,
Going
following him,
south. Yeah.
listening to him,
Mm-hmm.
and then KD's request to be traded obviously had something to do with K. I know when I seen the KD's comments today, to me I was like, yeah, he's one of those players that's just not going to say anything that's going on in the locker room. Not every player does that, and they all keep it, with pretty, in house. But I feel like that was like a huge indication, like, yeah, he's lying, like, straight
Yep.
up, because like he wanted out of Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and
And
now
it was
and
either
now
him or
he's like,
Nash.
oh no, like, I was surprised. Like, come on, you weren't surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, like, they consider you the best player. But yeah, something's gonna happen in Brooklyn. Like, it's gonna blow up. I think Nash was given an unfair, time, and he was put into a very difficult situation. And like, right now, I went based off what you when you asked me that question right now, like how many wins has Steve Nash gotten?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, maybe 30, 40 last year. I don't remember. I legit don't remember. So that was an actual guess.
Mm-hmm.
So based on everything, I was like, damn, yeah, he's done pretty bad. But no, he's actually has a
Pretty good.
decent record.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
It reminds me of the Frank Vogel situation. I mean, when the front office can't get their ish together, it falls on the coaches,
Yeah, he's always a
players,
scapegoat.
always a scapegoat.
Yeah, it's
And I
always
guess
been
this
like that.
topic is going to turn into it's the front office. It's the front office, man. It's incompetent. Like, if you knew in the summertime that Steve Nash wasn't the right coach, you give him before the season started about 16 days ago. The head coaching decision in the press conference, Sean Marks
Yeah,
said, "We've been thinking about this for the past 7 days. Do the math. 7 days. They only gave him the chance to get off to a good start.
yeah,
How selfish is that? How Steve Nash, we could tell he just wasn't. I think he's glad that he's not even there no more. He should be happy. He should be thrilled that he doesn't have to deal with the KD, the Kyrie drama, the James Harden drama. And at what point does this fall onto the front office? It's ridiculous. I mean, Sean Marks gets an extension. Rob Pelinka gets an extension. What's going
yeah.
on in the NBA? Like, it's just like no accountability is being held. No one said, "Hey, it's my fault for this." No, it's just it's not looking good for the NBA. And now it's been reported, it's not official. Ime Udoka, the next head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, he was an assistant there. He was born in Brooklyn. Um, Close ties with KD. Obviously, coached them. The Nets, he swept them.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Ime Udoka being the next head coach?
You know, damn, that's another interesting topic in itself. He's just fresh off, everything that happened with him in Boston, and now he's thinking about, well, not thinking about, but and you got to think like that's a good opportunity to take because there was a report saying like he was done, like he's probably never going to coach
Yeah.
again because maybe
Hmm.
front offices wouldn't trust him because of the scandal that was going on. But as far as like playing with, coaching the Nets right away, like if they respond well to him, maybe they start. I mean, they have the talent. Like everybody knows they don't have a defense. They cannot guard. It's like it's the opposite.
Hmm.
Lakers can't
Yeah.
score, Nets can't defend. It's like if he comes in and he starts getting them to follow, play well, but then you have to consider everything going on with Kyrie and now Cam Thomas. Like, is he going to be able to bring them together? Is there going to be
Yeah.
like distrust with some of the front office? Some people like, yeah, like I don't want my wife near this dude. Like, there's all these things that you got to take into consideration. But I mean, we got to wait and see if it's official. Because I mean, didn't who reported it? Shams?
Shams and Woj reported it.
Yeah,
And then Sean
that he
Marks comes out
yeah
and says, hey, we're still doing our due diligence, trying to look for other candidates. But I mean, everyone's seeing right through their teeth, man. The whole summer just, I don't know. As a guy who has hopes of one day running a front office, I, they're setting bad examples. Like Ron Pelinka, Sean Marks, it's just not looking good. Um,
yeah
if you would ask me the question, do I think this is going to work? I want to say yes. I think a lot of me for the past couple years is just um, very optimistic of situation. Like, oh, this is going to work. The Russell Westbrook trade, it has to work. It can't fail. And
yeah
just as time goes on, I just get less optimistic, and I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think you could have a guy who, granted, he did change the whole Boston Celtics defense 180. They went to the finals. They had one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in NBA history. Your point guard was defensive player of the year. Granted, Ben Simmons, when he's healthy, he's probably defensive player of the year candidate. Um, KD's getting a little old. Nick Claxton is your only rim protector. Other than that, you have
Well, I don't know. I don't
okay.
know about. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I don't know about Ben Simmons right there being healthy or not. I think
Really,
if you're referring to healthy, I feel like mentally healthy
yeah,
because
yeah.
I think it's a confidence thing
Mm-hmm.
where he can be an elite defender and he can do other things. Like he was, I
Yeah,
mean, dunking on people. He was, Jesus, like he was kind of like a mini LeBron to some extent.
yeah.
Just
No,
obviously
seriously.
with zero shooting,
And
but
I guess
that got
I
to him.
guess what they're
Yeah,
hoping is that he just changes the mentality. Like I like how you pointed out mentally healthy as well, because I think his problem is just his confidence. Um,
exactly.
I
Yep.
just to me it's just unrealistic. It just feels like Katie and Kyrie are just they're out the door. Like they just got one arm in the door where they're just ready to close it too. Um,
Yeah.
I like I said, I want to be optimistic, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening because like I said, you just can't expect a guy to come in here and flip the switch. Usually, when a coach gets fired, the players are like, "Hey, this is exciting. All right, we get to be free. Jacques Vaughn's our interim head coach. Like, this is cool. Like, it's like having a substitute teacher at school sometimes. All right, it's gonna be a fun day at school. Like,
Yeah.
kids just gonna be having fun. Same things happening. Same things happening. They're
Yeah.
not playing
And
defense.
all power to Udoka. If he does come in and does switch it up,
Yeah,
like,
of
hey,
course. It just shows how great he is as a
that's
coach.
perfect.
If
Yeah,
he could do it for the Celtics and now the Nets, especially with everything going on and like their record right now, be crazy. But I don't like being optimistic no more, especially with the NBA, and especially with the Brooklyn Nets team.
yeah,
They don't deserve my optimism. They don't deserve anyone's optimism. If I'm a fan of the team, I man, it feels like last year for the Lakers. Like we were miserable. I can imagine being a Nets fan, you know?